It was during the last few days of summer break when I decided to visit the old train station near my childhood home. The station had been closed for years, but it lingered in the back of my mind like an odd, persistent memory. The building wasn't ancient, but the decay felt heavy, as though time had stopped there. The graffiti-covered walls, rusted signs, and shattered windows, everything about it felt frozen in the past. I used to sneak in here with my friends when we were younger, curious about the abandoned platform, but I hadn't been back in years. I was 23 now, and it seemed like the right time to revisit this place. Maybe it would hold some nostalgic value, something to help ease the emptiness I'd been feeling since moving back to town. The station was just as I remembered it. The once bright yellow paint had faded to a dull gray, and the air was thick with the smell of mildew. The empty tracks stretched out ahead, the silence almost unnerving. I stood there for a moment, snapping photos, trying to capture some of the spirit of the place, but something in the air didn't sit right. I walked down to the end of the platform where I noticed a narrow staircase leading up to a dimly lit hallway above. The stairs were covered in grime, and there was a faint, musty smell. I hesitated for a moment, but something in me urged me to climb. Maybe it was just the curiosity, or perhaps the fact that I hadn't been here in so long, but I couldn't resist. When I reached the top, the temperature dropped noticeably. The lights overhead flickered, casting a sickly yellow hue over the narrow corridor. The walls were covered in peeling paint, and the floor creaked with every step. The entire space felt unnervingly empty, like something was waiting. And then I heard it. A faint scraping sound, like something dragging along the floor. I froze. At first, I thought it was just the building settling, or maybe the wind. But as the sound grew louder, my heart began to race. I turned toward the source of the noise, but couldn't see anything at first. The hallway stretched ahead, dim and quiet. But then, out of the shadows, I noticed it. A figure, slowly emerging. It moved deliberately, dragging its body along the floor. The sound was unmistakable now, a wet, sickening scraping that echoed in the hollow space. My first thought was that it must have been a homeless person or someone who had gotten in. But as the figure came closer, I realized something was wrong. It was tall. Unnaturally tall. Its limbs were too long, and its movements jerky, like it didn't have full control over its body. It dragged itself forward with its arms, its legs trailing behind like something had been torn away. I couldn't move. I couldn't look away. As the figure got closer, I saw its head. It was tilted at an unnatural angle, and the face, or what I could see of it, was obscured by shadows, but its eyes. I could feel them on me. It was staring right at me, and I felt this overwhelming sense of dread, like I was its prey. Then, it stopped. Right in front of me. For a moment, everything was still. My heart pounded in my chest, but I couldn't move. It was the dragging sound that snapped me out of my stupor. I turned and ran, faster than I've ever run in my life. I didn't dare look back. I could still hear the sound of it following me, slow and deliberate, like it was taking its time. I reached the exit, stumbled out of the station, and didn't stop until I was safely inside my car, doors locked, hands shaking on the wheel. I drove home, my heart still racing, unable to calm down. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I heard the scraping sound again, echoing in my mind. I felt like something was watching me. My room felt too small, too confined, as though whatever I'd seen that day had followed me home. A few days later, I heard about the disappearance of a local girl. She was a student from town, quiet, well-liked. She had gone missing, and no one had seen her since. They found her body a week later, close to the station, but the circumstances were strange. She had been found in a location not far from where I had been, and the searchers said her body appeared odd. The authorities didn't release much information, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She had been seen near that same area, not long before she disappeared. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then, the more I thought about the figure, the more something clicked in my mind. I never went back to the station. Not after that day. But each time I passed by, I felt that eerie sensation again, like I was being watched. Sometimes, in the dead of night, I'd hear a faint scraping sound from somewhere in the distance. I'd rush to check, but of course, there was nothing there. No matter how many times I tell myself it was just my imagination, I know the truth. Something followed me from that station. And I don't think it's done with me yet.